Hi everybody, I'm back with a new painting lesson, this time an Easter basket. So I tried a new format using step-by-step illustrations, so hopefully you like that. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started with our basket. I have my little color palette here. I have yellow ochre, white, and brown, and we're going to do a combination of these three colors, so that makes it really easy. So here are the 4 steps of our basket. First, we're going to base coat everything in a combination of yellow ochre and white. So we're going to put that on just like this, little strokes like that. And then you can either do the handle all in one stroke, or if that's too much, you can just sort of go along like this with your brush until you have the whole semicircle done, which is our handle. And the next step, we're going to take our brown. Once this is dry, you're going to take your brown, and with the tip of the brush, just use the point of the brush, and we're going to go along and do our lines, because these are the little wood pieces in the basket that the straw is woven into. Now the next step is going to be our straw. We're actually weaving our little basket now. So you're going to combine yellow ochre and brown, and you're going to go over the first one and then leave this one. Over the next one, leave that one. And then the next one, you do just the opposite. So you'll go just up to this first one, you go over that one and leave that one, over that one, leave the next one. So you can see it's kind of a back and forth, the same way you would weave a basket. And now we're going to take brown and do just these little curves like this. So really easy all the way around the top of our little basket handle. And lastly, we're going to reinforce the dark brown around the bottom. And we're going to take some dark brown and put strokes of that into our yellow ochre and brown to just give it a little extra darkness. We're also going to do a few strokes of yellow ochre in there. So now you have some texture. And then along this top, we'll do a dark brown strip of paint and then yellow ochre, just little curves like this, a little yellow ochre into the brown. And you don't want to do a lot of blending, because if you do, it's all going to turn the same color here. So you want to leave the light strokes of yellow ochre on top of the brown without blending. And if you do make a mistake, you can always wipe it all off and start again. And then on here, on the bottom of your handle, you want a little bit of shadow. So now we're going to take some brown and just put little strokes of brown underneath. And it's going to be a little darker, where here you use the combination of the light brown, of the brown and the yellow ochre. Here we're just the dark brown. So now it gives it this nice little shadow, so you have your contrast. So that is how we do our basket. And next we're going to do the grass and the eggs. Now that our basket is dry, I'm going to show you the 4 steps we're going to use to finish our little Easter basket. So first we're going to take our regular green and mix it with some yellow ochre and get kind of a medium grass green. Then we're going to take some of that grass green, pull it over here, we'll put a little bit of yellow into it. So now we have a really light yellowish green. So the first thing we're going to do with our basket is pull a little line of the yellow green and then pull it up like this with the brush. Because what that does is just sort of makes like little strokes of grass. So we're going to pull all that nice bright yellow green up in the air like this, and that is our first layer of the grass. The second layer is going to be the nice green that we mixed. So now we have the green, the yellow ochre. It's a medium green. We're going to put a little stripe of that on the bottom and then do the same thing. We don't want to cover up all of that bright yellow because we want that to be the highlight on our grass. So we're going to leave that there and just pull a little bit of this medium green in there. Now lastly, we're going to take a dark green mixed with some brown. That's going to give you like an evergreen color. We're going to put a stripe of that over now and then pull it up also, the same way we did with the light and the medium. And just like with the medium, you don't want to cover up the other 2 colors. You just want to go kind of in between it, because now you have 3 different shades of your grass, so it really gives it some depth. It doesn't look flat like it did in the very first image there. So next we're going to do our Easter eggs. You want to wait until after your grass is dry, about 10-15 minutes, let the grass dry. Now we're going to take all our pretty bright colors and we're going to put on some orange first, and you're just going to do like a semicircle like this right above it and then fill it in with the orange. And then the same thing here with the pink. You might want to wait until after your orange is dry before you put the pink on. And then next, the same thing. Wait till the pink is dry, put on the yellow. And then the same thing, then we'll put on our purple. The purple is actually the purple mixed with some white, because purple is very, very dark, and we're going to use that for a shadow later. So we want to mix a little white with it so it comes out like a medium purple. And lastly, we're going to use our cerulean blue, which is our sky blue, and we'll use that straight with no white. And we're just going to do a semicircle there also, fill it in, and you just kind of go down like this into the grass. You don't want to do a flat line across. You want to kind of come down into it, so you notice it looks like the little grass spikes are still there. And once that is dry, we are ready for the shadows, which is the last step. So we're going to take some pink and mix it with some orange. And that's how we get the shading for the bottom of that. And then we'll take some yellow mixed with our orange to get our highlights on top. And next we're going to take a little bit of purple, mix it with some pink. That's going to be the shadow for our pink egg. And then also mix some white with our pink to get a nice little highlight on top. Now for the yellow egg, believe it or not, we are going to use purple. We're going to take a tiny bit of purple, mix it with some yellow, and that is going to be the shadow because they're complementary colors to each other. And when you mix complementary colors, you get a brown version. So this is just a tiny bit of the purple right in there. And so that's going to be the shadow on the bottom. And for the highlight on the top of our yellow, we're going to add a little bit of white to our yellow. So it'll be a bright yellow. And if it gets too white and you don't want to have that kind of dull yellow, add another layer of yellow over that and you'll get that nice bright yellow back. Now with the purple, we already had mixed some white with the purple to get our purple egg like that. So now we're going to use just the straight purple, which is really dark, and pull some of that down here. We're going to use just the tip of the brush like this, and you see it gets that nice dark shadow. And then we're also going to use a little bit of the purple mixed with our blue for the shadow of the blue. And you can see it's not really a dark purple, it's just a little bit in your blue to make it kind of dark at the bottom. And then we're going to mix some white with it, almost like we do for the skies, and that will be our highlight on top. And once you've done that, you are finished and you have this beautiful little basket with the eggs. And if you happen to cover over some of the grass with your egg, once the eggs are dry, you can actually come back with a little bit more and you can actually pull it right over your little eggs. So that way you're putting the grass back again. So there is your basket in a few easy steps, and enjoy it, everyone.